Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. My name is Jess. This is the Scapegoat Club, where I talk about my experience coming from a narcissistic family and how I'm moving on with my life. And in today's video, I wanted to do a bit of a follow-up on the video I did about having a legal conflict with a narcissist, and I wanted to just touch base and come back to it. I think it's been about 6 months or so since I posted that video, and I wanted to just post my thoughts. I'm coming to the end, I hope, of my legal challenge with my narcissist, who's my sister. And although I don't know if it'll ever end fully, I just wanted to share my thoughts. Again, they are from, I was in almost like a business arrangement with my sister, but I do think that these thoughts would be relevant if you are looking at a legal challenge or going into litigation, say with a spouse or with a business partner or job situation as well. I really wanted to talk about actually winning and what it means to win against a narcissist. And then, because it may be that you can win without going down a litigation route. But if you do go down that route, I do have a few thoughts that I thought might help as well. So let's get into it. I think it's really important to define what we mean by winning against a narcissist. And this is the biggest thing that I wish if I could go back and tell myself 18 months ago, this would be the biggest piece of advice I could give, which is, what does winning mean? And for so long, and even now I still have it in my head, winning means justice. It means everybody knows the truth. It means that people walk down the street and point at the narcissist and go, you are a bad person, you did this thing. We all know the truth, and we know that Chess is innocent, and all that kind of Hollywood drama, and yay, the good person won and the bad guy gets their just desserts in the end. Well, maybe that does happen to some people, but sure as hell didn't happen to me. And I think that if that's the kind of Hollywood ending you're looking for, you need to have a huge amount of resources behind you to do that. So for me, winning, I think it's really important to keep a focus on winning means getting away from a toxic situation. It means extracting yourself from a relationship or a domestic arrangement or a work arrangement that is not good for you. It means getting away from those people. That is the win. Winning is freedom from a narcissist. And yeah, it's really hard when you've been lied to, when you've seen all these injustices happen, when people get away with things that they shouldn't do, when there's money involved, when there are other people involved, when the world's been turned on its head by these crazy people. It's really, really hard to not want all that to come to the surface, and to want them to be punished, or to want them to get some kind of consequence for what they've done. But with narcissists, it just doesn't work like that. Their personalities are so difficult. Then they don't turn around and go, yeah, okay, I did it. They don't turn around and say, yes, you're right, I was wrong, I'm sorry. My experience, I've been through 18 months of it's a very black and white legal situation where my sister lied about something, that she said something was legal when it was illegal. She went against legal advice. She lied to me about what that was. It was very black and white, and she's never admitted it to this day. I don't think she ever will. And she's lied to so many people, lawyers, multiple lawyers, family members, me, she still keeps trying to convince me that I knew about it, or that it was my fault, or so it the justice, as far as I know, doesn't happen. So if you are going to go into, or if you're fighting a narcissist, please really think about what winning means. And if it means getting away from that person, can you get away from that situation without going down the litigation route? And if you can, I would really think about that carefully, because litigation takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of money, it takes a huge amount of energy, and you need a lot of support, and you need evidence, like bomb-proof evidence, to get any kind of justice and winning. So if you do decide not to go down the litigation route, it's not that you've given up, it's not that you've let them win, it's none of those things. It's that you've decided that what you want from life is more important than interacting with crazy. So I really hope that you'll consider what winning means to you. But if you are in the situation, and even now I've given that pep talk and I listened to that, I actually do think I didn't have a choice in what I did. My sister was effectively stealing money from someone who has severe disabilities, and that's wrong. And if I had walked away, she would have just been able to continue doing that, and I couldn't live with myself for that. So I had to go down the litigation route, and I have to be brutally honest and say it was the hardest, most awful thing I've ever been through. But without being really melodramatic, it was a struggle to survive at some point. So partly because of the stress of it all, but partly you just seeing someone who will go to any depths to cover up their lies and just not take responsibility for what they've done. Someone who I used to love, and she's my big sister. It's just so soul destroying seeing the dark side of what humans can do. I found that really, really difficult. I still do. I find it really disturbing. But I did it. I got through it, and I survived. And hopefully I'm going to move on to bigger and better. So if you're going to go through it, and also if you need to get away from your narcissistic relationship. So don't say, when I say think about what winning means, winning is getting away. It's just how you get away. So if you need a lawyer, if you need to go down the litigation route, then these are the things I would say. Realize it's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of energy. It's going to take money. You're going to need support from other people around you, and you're going to need evidence. Choose your team wisely. Choose your support team wisely. I spoke to a few lawyers before I decided on who to work with. I think that most lawyers will, even if they don't advertise it, they will give you a short kind of brief consultation to talk about the situation and see if they can help. I would definitely talk to a lawyer before you retain them, just to see what their approach, just to get a vibe of what their approach might be and whether you think you can work with them. I didn't have any previous experience when I hired my lawyer. I just went with gut feeling. I just wanted someone who I felt was going to take charge of the situation and who I felt comfortable working with. In the end, the lady I chose was quite expensive, but I do think that dealing with a narcissist, you need a good team. And either way it was going to be expensive. So I wanted to choose someone who had the legal experience and what I thought was kind of the backbone that I needed to deal with someone like my sister. I had some money saved before I went into this legal situation, and it wasn't nearly enough. I needed about 3 times what I had. I didn't go to court. If I had, it would have been double what I spent anyway, so 6 times the amount that I originally had. So I don't say that to scare you, I say that to be realistic. It's expensive. Narcissists thrive on conflict, so, and by default, some kind of legal dispute is conflict. So it's really crazy making, but it's almost like by going into this argument with them, you're going into their battleground, and you're going into something that they get off on. It's really frustrating, but sometimes you have to do it. You also need to have good evidence behind you to get anywhere with a narcissist. It seems obvious to say it, but I think it's a good reminder that being a narcissist isn't illegal. It's not illegal to be nasty. It's not illegal to be manipulative. It's not illegal to just be a pain in the ass. It's not illegal to have that kind of character trait. But obviously, if you're dealing with a personal relationship and you need to, talk about character traits, then that is going to come into it to an extent. So what I would say is you need evidence. You need as much hard evidence of how this person has been behaving and what has happened as you can get. So you need to keep letters, you need emails, you need text messages, you need to keep phone messages as well. Don't record phone conversations, that's not legal, but keep any messages, any threatening messages, any messages that aren't true, any that are manipulative, anything when they've broken their word, that kind of thing. Keep everything, because you never know what you're going to need. You don't know which way this argument is going to go and what you're going to have to defend against. So keep everything and have as much in writing as you can. If you're not really writing to a narcissist, perhaps you can start putting things down. Now you can start recording things as a bit of kind of background, as a bit of homework, in knowing that you're thinking about going down this litigation route. And obviously, if you're in a work situation, that's going to be key as well. And I would say if you are writing to a narcissist, this is something I didn't do very well. It's really, really hard. But you need to keep your side of anything written, any correspondence, as even as unemotional, as sane as possible. It's really hard. I wasn't very sane when I was going through a lot of this, and I just wanted to yell and scream at my sister and say, "Come on, what are you doing? That's not true." I just wanted to, But you can't do that. You can't do that in letters that could end up in court, for example. So you need to keep it even to the facts, unemotional if you can do it, and as sane and as professional as an adult as you can be. It's really, really hard. So if you're writing to a narcissist or you're engaging in that correspondence, and if it's a particularly controversial one or something you're worried about, please, 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 if you can, this is where the support comes in. Get a friend to look it over. If you have a lawyer, get them to look it over, or ask their advice before you send it. If you don't have someone else, maybe you have a therapist who you could run it past as well. That would be great. If you don't have someone, just think about it before you send it. Sleep on it. Don't send it in the middle of just think about it, rewrite it. Just try and take your time on that, and consider what would happen if a lawyer read it. if a judge read it, if a policeman read it, if someone else, anybody else read it, how do you come across? Are you coming across like the crazy person? Because if you do, they're going to use that against you. So you just need to be as zen as you can, and it's so hard, but it's really, really important to do that if you are writing. And please don't ever send anything whilst you're drunk. Don't be drunk and texting. No, that is not good. You need to keep your dignity, you need to keep your sanity through this. So please just keep that in mind. I think that I could go on about this forever. So I really hope that kind of helps. If you want me to talk more about it, I would love to. If you have any comments or suggestions, please drop them off in the comments below and say hello. And again, if you are going into this, just remember what winning means. Winning means being out of there, just not being in the game. So please just have that one in mind if you're going into it. As always, lots of love. Please take care of yourself. If you like the video, please shoot me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe, awesome. And if you think this would help anybody, please share it, because that's really what it's there for. All right, take care, everyone. Talk to you soon.